Saturday, October 25th, 2025. Here we are back at the dacha. And what have we got planned for today? Well, fall cleanup. What else is there to do? The weather today is actually not too bad. Let's check out the famous blue Khabarovsk sky. Look at that. No clouds. Very, very nice weather. The temperature seems fairly warm right now, but let's go take a look at the thermometer and see how cold it really is. There it is, plus 4 degrees Celsius. Actually, I thought it was going to be a bit colder, but plus 4, that's actually not too bad. But we do have a little bit of a wind there. You can see the branches are moving. So it kind of feels maybe, I don't know, closer to 0, but it's actually not too bad. And yeah, like I said, it's going to be doing cleanup, raking, I don't know. I'll figure out something to do.
Завтра в Хабаровске до плюс 8. Облачно с небольшим дождем. Ветер юго-западный, умеренный. Ближайшей ночью -2. Это не реклама котлов, которых у нас.
So just as I was getting ready to start my work, I had the radio on, and the weather forecast is for rain tomorrow, but it's supposed to be a high of 8 degrees, and in the evening down to -2. So the ground is going to start freezing up pretty quick. And today what appears to be a nice day. I mean, once again, check that out. Blue sky, no clouds, but tomorrow, rain in the forecast. I don't know. Will we get it or not? Who knows? Maybe it'll just blow by and we'll still be able to do some work. All right, let's go to work. So when I came out here earlier to start working, I took a picture of what is behind me, but it's all clear now. So I took a picture and I was going to take a video, and then I got distracted and just started clearing away. So this is all cleared up. But I guess I'll have to show you what it looked like probably, I don't know, 45 minutes ago. I'll have to somehow put the picture into this video, and then you'll see what it looked like in the picture to what it is like now. So yeah, so this is all done, and I gotta work on something else here. I gotta figure out, what am I gonna be doing? Well, I guess what I could do is I could start raking this up, and then we'll move on to something else. All right, let's go to work. As I'm raking away here, I'm finding a lot of garbage. Let's turn the camera on, show you the treasures that we found. Well, treasures, I don't know, but okay, so there's like bags that are here, and here's the sole of a shoe. There it is. A shoe, a cup, all this plastic. Look at this. All this has to be cleaned up. Like, why do people just, I don't know, put garbage onto their property? Anyways, all this has to be cleaned up. There's looks like some sort of a pop bottle top. What do we got over here? Just more stuff. Look at that, just garbage. And right here, this was partially buried. Another shoe. All this has to be cleaned up and just taken away. Got to make this place look nice. Well, I figure I'm going to make lemonade out of lemons, so to speak. This is my motivation. If I see all this garbage over here, I know that if I don't clean it up, nobody's going to come here and say, hey, Phil, you know, just relax, spend the rest of the day relaxing and we'll do it for you. No, nobody's going to do that, obviously. It's up to me. So I'm going to clean this up, and everything that I pick up, I know that the place is just going to be looking so much better. So that's my motivation. I want to clean this up so that you could eat right out of it, so to speak. Yeah. So it looks like shit right now, but I will make it look better. And of course, there's all these rebars that are stuck in the ground. I've been marking them. Show you what I'm talking about. Okay, like this right here, you know, you come across, and I'm not going to pull them out just yet, but I just mark them. There's 2 more. And they take a while to either pull out or you got to dig them out. So instead of wasting my time on that, what I want to do is just rake around it, pick up all the garbage, and that'll be for a later date. We'll have to pull that out. All right, back to work. Check this out. So here's the bottom of a shoe. Okay, so why would you bury it over here? I don't know. I just can't figure that one out. I mean, if it's broken, put it into the garbage. Don't bury it. Here's another. What's this? Another heel. Look at that. Like, really, what's with people? Look at all this garbage that's going to be taken away. And all this right here is just in this little area. I found the bag that all these little plastic pieces right here, I might as well just put them into the bag. And it'll be contained instead of, you know, it all just being in pieces. And then it's all just going to fly away. So might as well try and contain it. All right, back to work. Look at this. Layers of this stuff. Look at that. Look at that. It's like, why? Why would somebody put this garbage into the ground? There's some more. Yeah, it's just caked right in there. Oh well, I'm going to make it better. We're going to turn this ugly place into something that's going to look cool. And, you know, in a few years, nobody will know. And unless it's videotaped, if I make up this story, well, not make up, if I say the story of what it looked like, people won't believe me. And this is why it's important to document it. So I'll say, you know what? Where you're standing on right now, it's nice green grass and we got the nice fir trees growing and everything is all nicely cut and mowed. And I'll say, do you know what this place looked like a few years ago? And they'll be like, I don't know. And I'll say, well, there was so much garbage here and I had to pull everything out and there were shoes that were in the ground. They'll say, yeah, right. And I'll say, hey, check out my videos. It's all being documented, you know, showing like right here, this gratka, these raised beds. I mean, they're just barely holding on. Look at that. So I'm going to have to get rid of that. All this loam. Loam is just metal. All this metal is going to have to be taken away. Actually, I can make money on that. Take it to a recycling place. I don't know how much money I'll get out of it, but at least instead of paying to take it to a garbage dump landfill, I can take that to the recycling and get some money out of it. All right, back to work. How much garbage do we still have? Wow, look at that. Still got to fill that up. And of course, got to keep working on this. Just painstakingly, just keep pulling it out. But I'm going to get it done. This area over here also needs to be cleaned up. I got to pull all this, and even along the berm here, got to pull all that out so that everything would be nice and clean and it'll look so much better. All right, back to work. I pulled out what appears to be the top side of a bucket. Check this out. Where's the rest of the bucket? I don't know. I had it right over there. I was raking and I pulled it out. Oh, here's some glass. Look at this. Everything that you can imagine. There's a bottle cap right there. Wow, the things that you find when you're cleaning up. I've been working around this burning barrel, and here's all this ash from the last time that I was burning. I figured I better take it away and dump it somewhere in the garden. Otherwise, when it rains, it's all going to get all clumped up, and then you won't be able to give it a good spread on the garden. So I'm going to put the wheelbarrow, or put the burning barrel onto the wheelbarrow and take it and dump the ash somewhere over here. Or no, better yet, I'll take it over there. I dumped this ash over here right beside the zimmelist, these berry bushes, and Took the rake and just raked everything into the ground, and now we can haul it back to where it was, and I can get back to work. So there it is. The sun is starting to set, and probably in about 15 minutes it's going to go down behind that mountain, and then it's going to start cooling off. So I want to turn the camera around. I want to show you what I did today. This is all cleaned up, much better. And this area had so much garbage and plastic and shoes and rope, lots of stuff. So that's cleaned up. There's still a lot to go as for the garbage, but it looks much better. This area right here has all been cleaned up. I pruned around all these trees, so all these little suckers that were growing around, trimmed them to leave the thicker pieces, and the ones that I want to grow, those will grow into some nice trees. This hillside right here, or this berm, I cleaned it off as much as I could, and it looks much better. Oh, check this out. Roofing material. There's tons of roofing material. Check this out. Right there. And right here. I don't know how deep it is, but I'm definitely going to have to pull it out. Why would I want asphalt shingles on my berm? So yeah, and I raked it up, and it looks much, much better. So what's going to happen with this area is it's too late in the season for me to do any of the leveling. But in the springtime, it's going to be nice and wide open, and I'll be able to level everything off. And this right here is going to be part of this really nice forest. Also, I want to transplant a dupe, and dupe is actually oak. So we have an oak tree over there, and when the nuts fall, then the little seedlings sprout. The next thing you know, we've got a whole bunch of little oak trees. So what I want to do is in the springtime, I want to go and dig them out and plant a few oak trees over here. So that's going to be good, because here's some fir. There's a fir there. There's another fir right there. There's another fir over there. And then there's larch, listvinica. And of course, we'll have the dup, the oak. So that's going to be really good. Okay, I got one more job to do. And that's right over there by the house. I got to dig around the drainage ditch, because I know that once winter comes, I might have a little bit of a problem. But I'll go over there and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I also want to mention that I got some extra firewood right there. So that's about 2-3 hours worth of just small sticks, branches, whatever. They were dry. I'm like, you know what? Take them into the stove and burn them. There's a couple hours of heat. All right, let's go over there to that drainage and I'll show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I need to straighten out this bridge over here before the ground freezes. Let's turn the camera around and get a better look at it. So in the winter months, when I'm going to be working in my shop, and I'll probably be going into this house here, I'm going to be shoveling the snow, and it's going to be coming right here like this, and you got this angle. So what I want to do is I want to straighten this out and kind of flare this out so it's a little bit more smoother, so that when I start shoveling, it's going to be much easier instead of going over this hump. So 5-minute job. I think I can get this done quick, and it's got to be done before the ground freezes. Well, that's probably in the next week or two. So I figured I'd get it done today. Okay, check this out. So the soil is already getting hard. So it's, see, pretty hard to even break it apart. And that's because there's a lot of moisture in the ground. So the ground will freeze much faster, and that's why instead of having that bridge go sideways, it's going to go straight this way. And then over here, it'll be much easier to shovel in the wintertime if I have a nicely sloped going into the bridge. All right, back to work. So as I'm working away over here, working on my bridge, guess who came to visit me? Let's turn the camera around. And here's my friend Vova. Vova, здравствуйте.
Здравствуйте.
Ну, давно...
Как поживаете?
Ну, все нормально, everything is good. Ну, ты готова вот, зима идет, приходит?
Зиме, да.
Да.
Готовился потихоньку, потихонечку.
So,
Все дровишки слаживаю там. Осталось чуть-чуть. Сейчас на полчаса, ну на час от силы.
okay, so Vova is saying that he's getting his wood ready. Дрова ты готовишь. И сколько у тебя еще осталось? How much wood do you have left?
Ну, я говорю, на часок работы.
Okay, okay. So he has about a few hours of wood left. Ну, твой сын привезет, так?
Да.
Yeah, so his son is gonna bring. Да. А ты думаешь, зима будет холодная в этом году или нормальная?
Нормальная должна быть.
So,
Потому что я копал, огород копал.
ага.
Черви на вот такой глубине, сверху.
Да.
А раз червяк не прячется, значит еще тепло будет.
Okay, ну я объясню. Okay, so he's saying that it's going to be a mild winter because it's based on the worms that are in his garden. And he says they're not too deep. And he says if it was going to be a cold winter, they would have been further down, but they're more closer to the surface. Ну вот. А я это так и не знал, что...
Да, вот
I
червяк
never
не
knew that.
лезет в землю,
Yeah.
он сверху, вот на такой глубине.
А может он заблудился?
Не, он не один.
I said, well, maybe he screwed up and went the wrong way.
Ни одного.
Да.
Так что пока еще тепло будет,
Да.
раз черви сверху.
There you go. So he uses the worm gauge. And the worms are closer to the surface. He says it's going to be a warm winter.
Когда холод, они начинают уходить в землю.
Yeah, he says the colder it is, the deeper they go. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо видеть тебя. И мне вот тут надо назад на работу. I gotta get back to work. All right. It was cool to see Vova again. There it is, all done. The bridge is straight. And so in the wintertime, when I'm going to be shoveling, there was a little bit of a depression right there. And I just didn't want to keep hitting the shovel against both ends, against the bridge here and against the concrete there. So once that freezes, that's going to be nice and smooth. And over here, same thing. So I'll have the shoveling right through there. And it's nicely flared so that I'm not going to be banging against the hump that was here. So there it is, 5-minute job, and everything's all done. Also, once everything freezes, that's going to be like glue. It's just going to hold this bridge, and everything will be good. And then in the springtime, I'll take it out and I'll get the cheb in, the drain rock, and we'll do this drainage. So for this winter, this is what we got to make do with. I want to show you the dupe, the oak, the one that basically started growing from a little seed. When a nut dropped and it started growing. So, I want to turn the camera around. I'll show you it. It's right below me here. Here it is. Believe it or not, it is just over a year old. Right here. Kind of camouflaged with the leaves. But there's more than one. I mean, this is the biggest one. But there's one right there. There's about 5 right over here. There's a couple over there. So, whoa. Almost fell on the rebar here. That one. So there it is. You don't even have to buy the oak trees at the nursery center. They grow on their own. So it's not only the oak, it's the pine trees, the fir trees, the birch trees. They just end up coming up on their own. And then what we do is we just see that they're going pretty good. And it's like, hey, let's transplant. Let's put one here. Let's put one there. And that's the way we're actually creating our forest way down at the other end of the property. So it's that time again. I got to get going home. So I cleaned up. And now I'm just going to go home and relax. And now that the sun has gone down behind the mountain, it's starting to cool down. So time to go. Hey, you know what? You can help and support my channel by smashing the like button. That really helps algorithm. Leaving a comment, that helps algorithm. And more importantly, subscribe to my channel. It's free, doesn't cost anything. And there it is. So now you know what to do to support my channel. Okay, I gotta go. And like I always say at the end of my videos, paka pakai.